All right, so today is Thursday, January 29. We're looking at the action that happened today. So, my first, the scenario I thought is the most likely, the most probable for this session would be to, once we lose this level, we just go down all the way to here. And basically, what happened is we opened, lost this level, and then once that happened, we went much lower than I thought. I thought in this session we'll only get to 691. We actually went all the way down to 685, which kind of makes sense because once you take out this level as well, this is the next big level we had before. Then obviously we get a very significant bounce from here based on all this demand right here. So I'll use supply and demand interchangeably with support and resistance, but they basically mean the same thing to me. Demand is support and then supply is resistance. So doesn't matter if I say support or if I say demand, basically means the same thing. In my lingo, I know some traders try to distinguish those, but I don't see a point. It's basically an area where you're expecting some kind of a bounce, or with the support or resistance, you're expecting an area where you're going to get the rejection. So, I mean, with a supply or resistance, it's the same thing. So it's an area where you expect some kind of rejection. So yeah, so in here we had a pretty strong demand zone and support zone, and we got a nice bounce all the way back to here, which is where we were, which is what we discussed on Wednesday, January 28th, that if we lose this level, it's pretty much just down from there. And we got all the way there, and then after the close, I'm on the extended trading hours. Always just feel like that gives me a complete information. So we got there, we got our rejection after hours. I think from here, let me remove the drawings from the previous session. Looking at Friday, tomorrow is Friday. Friday is again a lot of uncertainty. We rarely do get some kind of nice moves on Friday. Usually it's just chopping sideways. So just based off of that, I would guess we either do something like this, or uh, or if we do, actually, I'm just gonna leave one for today. I think yeah. Obviously, if we close above, we're just gonna go up. But what I see happening for Friday for S&P ETF, we're just gonna go sideways like this. And then let's quickly go over futures as well. For futures, I said the most probable scenario would go down, but the second one was we go up if we break out, and we didn't have a nice daily close and didn't have a break. So we essentially just came to this level, we broke down. I was expecting we're going to go to 6,975. Instead we went even lower. With this level, instead of just stopping right here at this demand zone, we actually plunked through and we came all the way to the next demand zone right here. And this is where we got the bounce all the way back to the zone from where we lost it. So you must always look at it as if we're gaining or losing levels. So in this case, we lost this level, so the next level would be this, and then once we lost that, the next level to expect support from is this one. And then yeah, obviously same logic here. We came here to this level, got a rejection, again after hours, and then we're kind of breaking down. And I think if we come here again, I would expect some kind of a bounce here and then sideways for Friday as well. So, but a lower sideways, I guess, based on the data that I'm seeing now versus ETF. Yeah, we could probably maybe even do this, but I'm not sure. But here on the futures, that's what I see. We stay within these zones here. So maybe it could even do that instead. Maybe it could even do this. Anyway, staying somewhere here. So let me delete the previous drawings so we don't get confused by that in the future. This is what we're counting on for Friday, and then for ETF, same thing, but yeah, I'll draw it just a little bit lower just in case. So one of those two, and then let's quickly go over BTC as well. For BTC, okay, I gave the third scenario, but I think I said I wasn't counting on this one, but in case we would end up here, we would break out, but we didn't come there, and I did say that that is the least likely scenario. And then I think my two most probable ones were either just go sideways, or just once we lose this level here, we travel all the way here again, just like with S&P 500. It went much lower than I thought it could manage in one session. Doesn't mean that I didn't expect that it could come all the way here, but I didn't think it would happen in the course of just one day. Thursday, it would just I would think it could have stopped here, but it went much lower, which is in general more bearish given the amount of weakness. So yeah, so let's get rid of that and let's see what we're looking at for Friday. I think just based on what it's looking at right now, we got a nice bounce from a very old, from a demand zone all the way from November, end of November. That's where we bounced, and I think looking at this, we have now this level. Hold on, let me just make it a little bit more accurate, and then we have another one would be, sorry, okay, copy and paste. Another one so far is here, so I would think that Friday would look something like this. So just going sideways, just going chopping in between. Not expecting it to break down much further from here. Let me check on the high time frame, on the daily. Yeah, I would expect we at least go, you see here, this was our demand zone, our support for a long time, starting November, and we finally broke down. Well, that's not very good, but it means that we can come up here, test it, and then continue going down most likely from there. So let me make these drawings probably, sorry, let's make those red. That's the high time frame situation here. Let's get rid of these levels as well. So yeah, that's what we're expecting. Eventually, even if it comes here, it's gonna reject from somewhere here. So yeah, but I think it's just gonna go sideways. I don't think we're gonna get a nice sharp bounce all the way to here to then go down. I'm expecting it to go sideways. I don't expect nice breakouts or anything. I would be also surprised if we just die from here and go all the way to 78. I would think we first go sideways and then go down, or we go all the way to 86 to the previous demand zone. Now it's turned supply, so support was a support, now it's turned into resistance, and now from here we would go all the way to 78 at some point. So 78 is very feasible, but I just don't think it's going to do it in just Friday, just in one day. That would be a surprise. So yeah, these are my thoughts for Friday, and then I'll do a video on Friday, obviously, and then I'll try to do videos on Saturday, Sunday, and maybe not just daily market reviews. Maybe I'll just explain some concepts that I use in my trading. So yeah, let's see.